Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Everybody please. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Rama,
Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Jayo Radha Vallabha Shri Radhe,
Jai Radha Vallabha Shri Radhe,
Jayo Radha Damodar One second. This is very easy. Focus. That's it. This is a Black Friday effect. Yeah, पता नहीं इंडिया के लोग ये इंडिया हार के इसलिए नहीं है. Last Saturday, इससे थोड़ा ज़्यादा लोग थे बस, but because of India match, people disappeared. And today, because of Black Friday, इतना traffic है, people are just crazy all over the place. So much of traffic yesterday and today. But thank you all for coming to another session of the Bhagavad Gita series. So today we are going to discuss series number 6. We are going to discuss chapter 14, 15 and 16. So thank you for coming. I'll offer a small prayer as usual and then we'll begin. Okay? Om Adhyanatirupradasya Jnananjalashalakhaya Chashurtulmendena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupam Kadavani Dati Swapadavitham. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namaste. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharani Nirveshesha Shunyavadi Pashtadadesha Tarani. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Let's begin. As usual, we'll do a very quick recap so that we understand what we discussed in the last week and also in the previous weeks. So who would like to go first? What did we discuss in the last week? Yes. What did we discuss in the last week? Yes, Father Jai. Aapka naam?
Dipti.
Deepti Mami, yes.
Prabhuji, the last week we discussed about how hearing and applying it to our life is so important. We should not just hear and forget or hear or speak, but hear and apply. We also spoke about how Arjuna requests Krishna to show his universal form, the Rupa. Prabhuji, I had a question regarding that, which has been disturbing me all week. You know, if there is
Okay, one thing. So we spoke about the significance of hearing, and after hearing, the significance of applying the knowledge, or else what will happen? Information, no transformation. सब पता है जीवन में करना क्या है, लेकिन कर कुछ नहीं है. It is called spiritual constipation. We have a material constipation. This is spiritual constipation. पता है मुझे जीवन में सही क्या है. I know what is right, I know what is wrong, but we still don't apply. And we know Dhritarashtra, he knew before the war what is right. Even after hearing Bhagavad Gita, he knew what is right. But he still chose not to do anything. So we don't want to be in that. That's the point I think Mataji is making. So hearing is very important, but application of knowledge is more important than hearing. Yes, let's answer. We'll come to the questions after the recap of the and we'll take a question before we start the discussion of the day. Yes, anybody else? Yeah, just take a look.
Krishna says, I am the pure consciousness, and I was the pure consciousness, and I will be the pure consciousness. And he says to Arjuna, worship me, I myself raise your karmic accounts.
Jai. So Krishna is saying in the 12th chapter, first verse, Arjuna is asking, shall I worship your manifested form or unmanifested form? आपको मैं किस तरीके से पूजा करूं? Manifested is in the form of a roop or unmanifested, which is Nirakar. And Krishna is answering, he said, it is easy to worship me in the form of a Akar, in the form of a Swaroop, because that is more easier, you can relate to it. But that doesn't mean worshipping manifested form, you cannot come to me. But the easiest path is to worship Him and Akar. That is the reason in temples, when we look at it, in temples we have the deity of the Lord. Bhagwan ka swarup hota hai, so that we can have a relationship with the Lord. We can dress them, we can offer bhoga to them, we can talk to them, we can talk to the deities, and deities will talk back to you. अगर भगवान से बात करोगे तो भगवान बात करेगा. भगवान से जब डिमांड करोगे तो कभी कभी बात करेगा. Most of the time we just demand, ये चाहिए वो चाहिए, ये कर दो ये कर दो. We give Krishna a checklist and walk away. इतना काम खत्म करके मैं जा रहा हूँ. This is what people do. This is my checklist, you do this. But if we have a relationship, we worship Krishna in the way He wants us to do it. Krishna Himself says in the 12th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, it is the fastest and the easiest way. Thank you, Jitendra Babu. Yes, anybody else? What else did we discuss? Just I go through. Notes निकालिए. मस्तक में नहीं तो पुस्तक में चाहिए. पुस्तक में भी नहीं है तो कहीं नहीं होगा. So if you can't remember something, write down the way God proposed writing. Yes, Mataji. Give you Mataji the second time is fine.
Biggest illusion of a wonder of life is I'm not going to die.
The biggest illusion. Yahani kachani. The biggest illusion is we think I'm not going to die. Yesterday, so we have a weekly program every Friday in USAID where I go and give a class. Yesterday, someone just walked in for the first time, and while having prasadam, I said, "How did you come here?" He said, "I lost a 43-year-old friend in cancer. I'm very disturbed." And I said, "What are you doing about it?" Being disturbed is one part. Being disturbed in life is one part. But what are we doing with a particular situation? That is more important. He said, मुझे पता नहीं चल रहा कि मैं जीवन में मैं क्या करूं. He is completely baffled, completely shocked. All of a sudden you lose a loved one. Where do you go? What do you do? And at that time, if you don't have a strong philosophy internally, you will be baffled. Thank you. Thank you, Deepti Mother. So people think I'm not going to die. People think ये लोग गए, आप जाओगे, फिर मैं बच जाऊंगा. That is the biggest illusion. And the second biggest illusion is I have time. मेरे पास वक्त है. Spirituality is important for you. Raji Prabhu take it seriously, but I think मेरे पास time. Mataji, take it seriously. You don't have time, but I have time. When we have this mentality, and that is the biggest illusion. So, when should we start spirituality? When you are in mother's womb. माँ के पेट में से ही होना चाहिए. If not, from the age of 5 years. 5 साल के बाद, it should be very intense. And from the age of 50, you should not even waste 1 second of your life. This is what Srimad Bhagavatam says. 1 second. So, having human form of life, utilizing it in the service of the Lord is the topmost priority. Thank you. Yes, Devi Mother. Anybody else? What else did we discuss? We can go for second round. We can get more prashad. जो भी second time बोलेंगे double speed चला. Yes, Chetan Babu, बोलिए.
We discussed the story about the king, the statues.
Yes.
Statues that are registered. When the statue 1 has a value, what he hears, say the same. Statue 2 has some value because the statue 1 says what he says goes from that ear. Statue 2 is what he hears and that says, and statue 3 is what he hears goes to the front.
Yeah, thank you, Chetan Babu. So we spoke about the value of hearing. एक कान से सुना, दूसरे कान से चले गया. वो hearing का कोई फायदा नहीं. एक कान से सुना, उसे repeat किया. कम से कम repeat करते हो कि आज मैंने क्या सीखा. What did I understand today? At least you're discussing with someone. It has some value. But the most value is you are hearing it and applying it in your heart, in your day-to-day life. As Deepti Mata said, it is very important to apply. Thank you, Chetan Babu. Yes, Chetan Babu, round 2.
Krishna says, do your karma without attachment, and I shall liberate you from all your sins.
Yes, Krishna says, do your karma, do your duty, but don't be attached to your duty. Karmani eva adhikarasya ma phaleshu kadachana. Second chapter 47th verse. Karm kar. We cannot, nobody can run away from doing your duties. We cannot run away from our responsibility. If we can do it as an offering to Krishna, then that is the perfection of an action. Thank you. Yes, anybody else? If not, we can go for question and answers. No? Okay, question. Just give me one. What is bothering you?
Prabhuji, when Arjuna requested Krishna to show his Virat root, right? And obviously when he saw, he got scared because he could see that everybody was dying and going in his mouth. And like you said, Krishna told him only Pandavas will live after the war. Prabhuji, what is bothering me is why did Abhimanyu have to die?
Why did Abhimanyu have to die? Not only Abhimanyu.
No, but as in Arjuna's son, Arjuna was doing his duty, right? And that, losing your child is the supreme form of pain, I believe. Why did he have to go through that pain?
This was discussed even before the war, even before the Bhagavad Gita was spoken. Krishna speaks to Draupadi. पता है आपको? Krishna speaks to Draupadi and he says, कोई भी नहीं, ये युद्ध में कोई भी नहीं बचेगा. Nobody. And she was shocked. Because when she said nobody, first thing as a mother, you think मेरे बच्चे जाएंगे. And Krishna said, you have to pay a price for dharma. You tell me what choice you have. And then after 2-3 days of contemplating, thinking, then Draupadi says, yes, I'm ready for the war. Draupadi as a mother, she knew she has to sacrifice something much higher, to gain much higher. And then when Abhimanyu died, why did Abhimanyu die? Because as you mentioned and Bhagavad Gita mentioned, even before the war, Krishna mentioned everybody will die except for 5 Pandavas. Because no pain, no gain. Of course, the death of a son is the topmost pain in the life, right? There's no doubt about it. But it was destined that this is the way Krishna wanted things to happen. This is the way we understand. This is the way Acharyas have explained. Not only Abhimanyu, all the 5 Pandavas, ke 5 Ashwatthama killed everybody, thinking these are 5 Pandavas. Thinking, you know the story, right? Ashwatthama thought these are the 5 Pandavas, and Ashwatthama killed all the 5 kids of Draupadi, the Pandavas. So what did he do? Everybody has to die. Everybody has to die. The timing can be different. आज उसका नंबर है, कल इसका नंबर है. Everybody has to die. So we should know. Okay, there's a beautiful verse, 2nd chapter 13th verse, 2.13. The answer is Dehi nosmi yata dehe kaumaram nimanam jara tata dehantra praptir dhiras tatra namuyati. Krishna says in the 2nd chapter 13th verse, as we move from boyhood to youth to old age, similarly the soul transmigrates from one body to another body at the time of death. A sober person is not bewildered by such a change. ये कृष्ण के वर्ड्स है भगवद गीता में देख लेना. A sober person is not bewildered by such a change. How we change the clothes, similarly we change bodies. When we understand this, then losing a loved one will not be very painful because you're expecting this to happen. It will be painful, but not as much as pain. After hearing Bhagavad Gita, after Krishna speaking to Arjuna first hand, then even at the 7th or 10th day when Abhimanyu dies, I don't remember exactly what day was it. Arjuna is crying and crying and crying. After knowing, पहले ही पता था रिजल्ट क्या होने वाला है, तो अभी भी Arjuna is crying, and at that time Krishna is not giving philosophy. You see the touch of Krishna? Krishna is not giving philosophy. I told you before, you should just accept it. He said, no, I can understand your pain. Just tolerate it. Just tolerate it. So the lesson for us in life, sukh ho ya dukh ho, in happiness or distress, we have to tolerate. It is easy to tolerate at the time of pain in life. But more difficult it is when things are going good in life, people don't tolerate. Ghamand aa jata hai, pride. Look at the amount of money what I have. Look at my position what I have. Look at the beautiful family what I have. And pride comes before the fall. Do we all agree? So Krishna is explaining everything very, and we don't have to be disturbed about this knowledge. It is a fact of life. So don't have sleepless nights.
No, I didn't have sleepless nights. It's just, when he was not ready to go for this fight, Krishna guided him. He didn't force him. He gave his opinion that you have to do the right thing. So he was doing the right thing in life. And still he had to bear this pain.
We see warriors going to fight in army, doing the right things. They still die.
Again, karma.
That is different. They still die. So dying and taking a birth, it is just a process. The sooner we understand this, okay, Janm lena or mrityu, it is just two sides of the same coin. Nobody will escape. As sure as death. They say as sure as death. It is part and parcel. Okay? Any questions? We have 2 more minutes before we start today's discussion. Any questions, comments, corrections from the previous discussion? So we can start the 14th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. No. Alright, let's begin. So the name of the 14th chapter of Bhagavad Gita is the 3 modes of material nature. So until now, we covered the first 13 chapters of Bhagavad Gita. Now we are on the 14th chapter. As mentioned before, today we are going to discuss chapter 14, 15 and 16. And the next Saturday, we will discuss 17 and 18, and that's the end of Bhagavad Gita. So, in the 14th chapter, Krishna explains how different people react in 3 different modes. Who remembers the 3 modes of material nature? Yes, Raju.
Sattva gun, Raja gun, Tamo gun.
How people behave in Sattva gun, mode of goodness, Raja gun, mode of passion, and Tamo gun, the mode of ignorance. How different people behave, and how we, in every day, how we go through the 3 modes of material nature, and what do we do? This is very important verse of Bhagavad Gita. Please repeat after me. Sarvayoni kaunteya.
Sarvayoni kaunteya.
Mrityu sambhavati yaha.
Mrityu sambhavati yaha.
Tasam brahma mahadyonir.
Tasam brahma mahadyonir.
Aham bija pratapitaha.
Aham bija pratapitaha.
Translation. Who would like to read? Can you point the mic, please? Kids can have the mic, and then you can read the translation. Just the English translation.
It should be understood that all species of life or son of the country are made possible by birth in the material nature, and that I am the seed-giving Father.
I am the seed-giving Father. So Krishna is saying, Aham bija pratapitaha. I am the seed-giving Father of every living entity. Not Indians, not Americans, not Jewish, not Pakistani, and certainly not Gujaratis. Everybody, every living entity, Krishna is saying, I am the seed-giving Father. So what does it mean to us? What does it mean? Who wants to make a guess? Let's have a discussion. What does it mean when you understand that we are part of Krishna? उसका क्या मतलब होता है? Yes, so we are the creation of the soul is coming from Krishna, so we are coming from Krishna. Thank you. What else? Raji Prabhu. Yes, you can repeat.
Everything originates from Krishna, everything dissolves into Krishna.
Everything originates from Krishna and everything dissolves into Krishna. Thank you. Perfect. Jatin Prabhu. Yes, last.
He is the Father.
Perfect. Simple. Krishna is our Father. Krishna is our Father, and the Shastras, the scriptures, what we have over here, the Shastras are our mother. So we have biological mother biological father. Then we have a supreme father and a supreme mother. And Krishna is saying, I am that seed-giving father. When we hear this, how much faith and how much conviction we should have in ourselves. If someone comes and tells you tomorrow, Pragya Mataji, Mukesh Ambani is your father, Chinta mat karo. How will you feel? कितने खुश हो जाओगे मंडे सुबह जॉब में जाना पड़ेगा, गौरव प्रभु छुट्टी, बच्चों का सब देखभाल हो जाएगा. I have so many employees and people to look after my kids. I don't have to worry about mortgage and bills and everything else. The moment you tell Mukesh Ambani is my father, you associate yourself with a very wealthiest person, a richest person. Similarly, when we start associating that Krishna is my father, Krishna is my well-wisher, then how much faith and how much conviction we should have in our day-to-day life that jo ho raha hai mere sath theek ho raha hai. Is this making sense? But we should have conviction that Krishna's plan is a perfect plan. He cannot go wrong. As parents, we may go wrong here and there, but Krishna will not go wrong. We should have conviction in this. And that is the reason Krishna is saying, I am the seed-giving father of every living entity. Right? So this is very, very important to understand that we have a supreme father, which is Krishna. Of course, we have a biological father. He will come and he will go. We will come and we will go. The biological parents comes and goes, but spiritual parents never leave us. That is the reason Krishna is always sitting in our heart as Paramatma, as a super soul, and he never ever leaves us for 1 second. We care before care and after care, and they leave us in age care. But Krishna never leaves us thinking. Every yoni, Krishna is holding our heart and he's waiting for us to turn towards him. Is this making sense? This is so powerful. When I heard this for the first time, I was actually so happy to know that my supreme father is Krishna. That doesn't mean we ignore our biological father. Don't do this to your mother and father. ठीक है, आपने तो कुछ किया नहीं है, जो कर रहे हो ऊपर वाला कर रहे हो. No. Alright. Next, just the English translation. Let's read the English in the interest of time. Again.
The human nature consists of three modes: goodness, passion, and ignorance. From the eternal living entity, from the contact of nature, Almighty armed Arjuna, he conditioned these modes.
Yeah, thank you. So Krishna is saying that the three modes of material nature, as Raji Prabhu mentioned, Sattva-gun, Rajagun, and Tamogun. And when we have been in contact with these three modes of material nature from time immemorial. But the next, Arjun is going to ask a question: what do people do in these three modes of material nature? Right? If I tell you, okay, you will have very wealthy life, then the immediate question will have: how much will I have? What will I do with that money? How will I spend my life? Similarly, when Arjun comes to know that there are three modes of material nature, Rajagun, Sattvagun, Tamogun, he's asking a question now to Krishna that what does people do in these three modes of nature? Can you please read?
When I am inspired, O my dear Lord, by which sentence is one moment who is conditional to these three modes. What is his behavior and how is he complete the modes of nature?
So what is his behavior? ये तीन गुणों में लोग करते क्या हैं? उनका सदाचार कैसा होता है? उनका how do they behave in these three modes of nature? And how do you transcend the three modes of nature? How do you come above the three modes of nature? So he's asking two fundamental questions. What is the behavior? Come on, if you can come over here. Raji Prabhu ke baare mein, then it just becomes easy. Now, Krishna explains what do people do. So these these are the three modes of material nature, and sometimes people overlap the modes of nature. Sometimes we are in goodness, sometimes we are in passion, sometimes we are in ignorance, and sometimes we are overlapping one mode with another mode. कभी goodness में भी है, passion में भी है, ignorance में भी है. But Krishna is now going to answer a question which Arjuna is asking. How do people behave in this mode? Right? Do we have this question? What people do in goodness, what people do in passion, and what people do in ignorance. Okay. So I put a chart together so that we understand what people do in each specific modes. So people in the mode of goodness, what time do they? Okay, people in the mode of goodness, preferred time of day, what do? They get up early in the morning and they do some prayers. Right? Someone who is in the mode of goodness, first thing they get up and they pray to someone. Right? What type of food do people in the mode of goodness have? Right? Sattvic food, sweet, juicy, fattening, milk fruits. So they have very sattvic diet. An vaisa man. We have heard this many times now. What we eat helps our consciousness accordingly. So people in the mode of goodness, they have food which is very palatable to having the right consciousness in the life. This is the mode of goodness. What type of music do they listen? Arjuna is asking all these questions. I'm not going individually. I've just captured this as a slide for us. What type of music do people listen in the mode of goodness? They listen to music which is bhajans and kirtans. Very dharmic. Next, who do they worship? People in the mode of goodness, who do they worship? They worship devis and devtas. And what type of austerity they do? So they do austerity to please the devis and devtas. So these are the people in the mode of goodness. Then now comes the people in the mode of passion. People who are in the mode of passion. Rajoguna में लोग क्या करते हैं? First, they work daytime onto sunset. They work very hard. सुबह से लेकर शाम तक, शाम से लेकर रात तक काम ही करते रहते हैं. They work very hard, long hours. They work long hours. What type of food do they have? They have food which is salty, pungent, and hot. Very spicy khana khate hain. People who are in the mode of Rajoguna, they have spicy food. Krishna is saying this. What type of music do they listen? I don't need to explain. It is very self-evident. They listen to music which is जोर जैसे हम देखते हैं ना गाड़ी में people like have big music in the house, big music in the car. हमें कान में ऐसा लगता है immediately agitating music करते हैं. So these are the people in the mode of Rajoguna and passion. Then who do they worship? They worship people who are very powerful in life. We have a temple of Chiranjeevi in India. We have a temple of Rajnikant in India. We have a temple of Amitabh Bachchan in India. They worship Sachin Tendulkar. So they worship very powerful people so that they can get something out of it. Austerity or tapasya क्या करते हैं, right? The next, in the mode of ignorance, preferred day of time में क्या करते हैं सुबह? Night birds. What time they sleep? What time they get up? They don't have a schedule. People in the mode of ignorance, they sleep late, they get up late. I still remember when I started coming into Krishna consciousness, I started going to bed early and getting up early. A very good friend of mine, he said, I am better than you. I said, why? Because I sleep on the same day and get up on the same day. 2-3 बजे रात में सोना, 9-10 बजे उठना. You sleep one day before and you start to sleep, get up next day. I said, no, that is not right. So sleeping on time and getting up on time is very important aspect for healthy, wealthy and wise. Food. What type of food do they have? Stale food, liquor, and meat. People in the mode of ignorance, they have food which are prohibited. A devotee uses the body as a temple. Devotee uses the body as a temple. That is the reason we put tilak on the body, tilak on the chest, tilak on the side, tilak in the back. Because we treat this body as a temple, vehicle to come closer to Krishna. But someone who is in the mode of ignorance, they make this body by eating meat, a burial ground, smashan. They put dead bodies in their body. No. A devotee doesn't do that. Devotee offers the food cooked to Krishna and they have the food. Okay? Music. What type of music do they listen? Who do they worship? And they torture themselves. आपने देखा होगा ना इंडिया में भी कई बार हंटर्स अपने आप को मारते हैं. I don't know what do they call. They hit themselves as an austerity. So Arjuna is asking question to Krishna, how do people behave? And Krishna categorically is explaining in Bhagavad Gita कि people in the mode of goodness, passion और ignorance में क्या करते हैं, क्या खाते हैं, कितने बजे सोते हैं, कितने बजे उठते हैं, क्या सुनते हैं. Everything is given in Bhagavad Gita, 17th chapter and 14th chapter. Okay? So this is very, very, very important to understand. Where are we in this? And where do we want to be? Because Arjuna is asking the behavior and how do you transcend the three modes of material nature? How do you transcend the three modes of material nature? So it is very, very important. The life of a devotee is like a compass. A life of a devotee is like a compass. No matter wherever you take the compass, what does the compass always shows you? Which direction? North. Thank you. You take the compass anywhere in the world, the compass will show you one direction, which is north. Similarly, a life of a devotee is tailored, structured, and formatted in such a way that it is always favorable to do Krishna Bhakti. Is it making sense? So that is the life of a devotee. We get up on time, we sleep on time, we do the right thing so that this body is used for something higher. What time we sleep, what time we get up, what we read, what we talk, how we behave, all of this is very, very important aspect. All of this is very, very important aspect. And very, very favorable it should be to perform bhakti. Okay? Alright. I can share the slides, don't worry. Photographs we can take later. You can take selfie if you want, but not photographs. I'll see this. So after having this, the next question which should come into our mind is now that I accept that I need to improve. Right? So we'll talk about 5 A's. 5 A's is that accept that I'm sick. And the moment you accept that you are sick, what do? Sorry? Go to a doctor, approach the right hospital. First thing, you go to a right hospital. You don't go to any doctor. You go to first a medical institution which can treat you. So first thing is accept that you're sick. Second, approach the right hospital. Then we approach the right doctor. Then we avoid, when you go to the right doctor, what does the doctor say? Avoid negative things. And then accept positive things. This is what the doctor says. When you are not well, this is what happens. First thing, you accept that I'm unwell. Then you go to a right hospital, approach a right hospital, approach the right doctor, avoid the negative things, and accept or apply positive treatment. So these are the 5 A's which we do. Similarly, when you understand now, if you want to transcend the 3 modes of material nature, if you want to come above Sattvagun, Rajagun, and Tamogun, then we should accept that I need to change. This is the first thing which is required in spirituality. To be humble. Yeah, I need to change. In material life, humility is completely out of the picture. I just keep saying, material life is based on caliber, spiritual life is based on character. So if you want to accept improve your character, then certainly the first thing we do is we accept, I want to change. The moment you want to accept that you want to change, then you have to go to the right hospital. And ISKCON is one of those hospitals where they give you a treatment plan, what you need to do, what you don't need to do. You can go to any other hospital. We don't say, I'm not going to sit over here and say, east or west, ISKCON is the best. I'm not going to say that. You can go anywhere, but go somewhere. Go somewhere. Do something about it. Right? Yes, ISKCON is coming in a parampara which is established by Krishna himself. It is an authentic parampara given in all scriptures. You can try it out. Then once you come to a hospital, you choose a doctor. In spiritual life, what does a doctor relate to? Guru. Thank you. You should have a guru in life. Without guru, you cannot progress in bhakti. Without guru, you cannot progress in bhakti. And then, when you go to a doctor, doctor will tell you, don't do this. Ye mat khao, time pe so. Doctor will tell you many things which is favorable to treat your sickness. Similarly, when we are sick, when we accept that I want to improve, we have to avoid negative things and accept positive things. If you go to a gym and if you want to reduce 10 or 15 kilos, you have to change your diet. You have to change. Vishal Prabhu is over here. He can explain to us. He goes to gym every day, right? You can't eat anything and everything and still go to gym. You will not have a lot of impact. But if you want to seriously do something about your body, if you want to come in the right shape, right? I was hearing Virat Kohli many years ago. Virat Kohli said, I haven't had a cheat day for years. For years. He said, before that I was cheating myself, I was eating anything and everything and I was still exercising. But then when I understood the value of food, I haven't had one cheat day for years. It is just to play some cricket. If you want to come out of the cycle of Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadi, birth, death, old age and disease, then you have to be very serious about how, what, when you eat, when you sleep, who you associate with. So a guru will tell you what to do and what not to do. And the dharma, as we spoke in the previous classes or discussions, dharma is based on 4 pillars. No meat eating, no intoxication, no gambling, and no illicit sex. So this is what the dharma is based on. And apply positive treatment. The doctor will give you medicine. And the medicine in the age of Kali Yuga is chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare. Chanting the holy name will bring everything in your life. Even if you cannot focus on giving up the bad habits, just by chanting the holy name, everything will come into the life. So chanting the holy name is the most important positive treatment which we can do for ourselves. And there is no difference in the holy name and when Krishna manifests in the form of wood, it is called Lord Jagannath. When Krishna manifests in the form of a stone, it is called the deity of Krishna. When Krishna manifests in the form of water, when Krishna manifests in the form of a mountain, it is called Govardhan. When Krishna manifests in the form of a plant, it is called Tulsi. When Krishna manifests in the form of a person, it is called Sri Guru. When Krishna manifests in the form of time, it is called Ekadashi. And when Krishna manifests in the form of a book, it is called Bhagavad Gita or Srimad Bhagavad. So when we associate, and when Krishna manifests in the form of sound, it is the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. This Maha Mantra is not different from Krishna himself. भगवान में और भगवान के नाम में कोई अंतर नहीं है. नाम चिंतामणि कृष्णा चैतन्य रस विग्रह पूर्ण शुद्धो नित्य मुक्तो अभिन्नाथ नाम नामिनम. अभिन्नाथ नाम नामिनम. That means there is no difference in the name of the Lord and the Lord himself. When I'm sitting over here, I'm not in my house at Albert Park. But Krishna is absolute truth. He can manifest himself in any form, anywhere. If Krishna can come in the form of a sari to Draupadi, cannot Krishna come in the form of a sound to stay with us? Yes or no? So the most important treatment in the form of, in this age of Kali is chanting the holy name. So please focus on chanting the holy name. That is the ultimate thing that is the gist of all Shastras. That is the gist of all Shastras, is to chant the holy name. Okay? So Krishna is explaining the qualities and Arjuna is asking the behavior. And let's see what happens now. So now, after explaining this, because obviously Arjuna wants to transcend the three modes of material nature, is asking, what is the yoga of the Supreme Person? What should we do? Right? And this chapter is very, very important because in the 10th chapter, the whole Bhagavad Gita is summarized in 4 verses. Pura Bhagavad Gita, 4 verses mein hai. In the 10th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, we spoke about it very briefly. Again, in the 15th chapter, Krishna explains the whole Bhagavad Gita in 3 verses. How merciful he is. Puri ki puri Bhagavad Gita ka jo saransh hai, we take multivitamin medicine, right? Multivitamin. Rather than vitamin A, vitamin B, vitamin C, vitamin D, we take multivitamin. Why? So that we don't have to have many, many different medicines. Similarly, Krishna is so merciful, he is giving the whole gist of Bhagavad Gita in the 10th chapter, again in the 15th chapter, in 3 verses, and again he will explain the whole Bhagavad Gita in 2 verses in 18th chapter, and in 1 verse in 18th chapter. So we will see that in the next class. But let's see what comes here. Okay, kids want to be aware.
There are 2 classes of beings, the fallible and infallible. In the material world, every living entity is fallible. In the spiritual world, every living entity is called infallible.
So this is the first verse of the 3 verses where Krishna explains the whole Bhagavad Gita. What is he saying? There are 2 types of people in the world. One is fallible and one is infallible. Right? In the material world, every living entity is fallible. Fallible का मतलब हम कभी भी गिर सकते हैं. क्यों? We are always in Maya. We have these 4 defects. Who remembers the 4 defects? Let's do a test. What are yes, Janama? What are the 4 defects? Self-cheating propensity, yes. Always an illusion. Phone a friend. She said 2. Or what are the 4 defects? We spoke about this. मस्तक में नहीं तो पुस्तक में तो चाहिए. What are the 4 defects? Bound to commit mistakes and imperfect senses. So these are the 4 defects we have. Anybody over here who doesn't have these 4 defects? We all have these 4 defects. Even Lord Brahma has it. Brahma himself says it. So we all have these 4 defects, and Krishna is talking about over here that there are 2 classes of men. One is fallible, one is infallible. People who are fallible, people are like us who have defects, who have faults, who have many, many desires apart from serving Krishna. We come into this material world. And infallible का मतलब क्या है? Nitya Siddha. There are 2 types of people, Nitya Baddha and Nitya Siddha. Nitya Baddha are people who are stuck over here. And Nitya Siddha means they are always in the spiritual world. They are always in the spiritual world. So Krishna is explaining over here that there are 2 types of people. Where do we want to be? We were always with Krishna. हम लोग हमेशा भगवान के पास थे, भगवान के घर पे थे. But because we wanted to enjoy separately from the Lord, we have come over here. People who are in the jail, people when you go to Deer Park jail, people who are in the jail or Tihar jail in India, why are people in the jail? Because they wanted to do something which is not as per the rules and regulations of the government. Correct? That is the reason they will be punished and they will be put in the jail. Krishna is saying this material world, this material world is like a jail. And everybody, when they come into this material world, they have to undergo 6 changes. They take birth, they grow, they stay for some time, they reproduce, they dwindle, and they vanquish. Everybody takes 6 changes. They take a birth, they stay for a little bit time. For us, we may stay for 100 years, and ant stays for 28 days. A small fly can stay for overnight. 2-3 दिन में बढ़ जाते हैं. अलग-अलग span होते हैं, right? So we take birth, we grow. There's a duration. We reproduce in that time. We dwindle, बूढ़े हो जाते हैं, and then we vanquish. But in spiritual world, Krishna is giving this insight. In spiritual world, people don't get old. Their life is stagnant. They are ever fresh, ever youthful, and ever fresh, ever happy to serve. So in spiritual world, people don't get old. Buddha नहीं होते वहाँ पे. Always happy, always fresh, because there is no time factor in spiritual world. This is making sense? There is no time factor in spiritual world. There's time factor over here, but in spiritual world there is no time factor. So people who are there, they're always fresh, always young, and they don't change bodies like we do. We change bodies every 20, 30, 50, 100 years. But in spiritual world, Krishna is explaining they don't change. Okay? Let's read the next verse.
Besides these chief areas of greatest living personality, the Supreme Soul, the imperishable Lord Himself, who has entered the 3 worlds and is maintaining them.
Yeah. So now Krishna is talking about Himself. Krishna is now talking about Himself. What is He saying? That apart from these 2 types of being, which is fallible and infallible, there is another person, which is Super Soul, Paramatma, which is always with Atma. Atma and Paramatma are always together in material world. Wherever Atma goes, the Paramatma comes with them. So Krishna, as I was just discussing before, Krishna doesn't leave. Krishna doesn't leave us for 1 second in any yonis, in every yonis. So when you are a tree, Krishna is there with you. When you are a bird, Krishna is there with you. When you are a cow, Krishna is there with you. When you are a human being, Krishna is there with us right now as Paramatma. And Krishna is always and always with us. This is making sense? This is so empowering. Actually, if you think about it, this is so empowering. Where are those people who we have shed tears for now? Everybody comes and everybody goes. Correct? जीवन में लोग आते हैं और लोग जाते हैं. Like on a platform, the train comes and the train goes. The train takes some passenger and they go to the next station. Similarly, in our life, people come and people go, and then we go. But Krishna is saying here very clearly, I don't ever leave you, in the form of Paramatma. And just by having this thought that Krishna is with me, I am with Krishna, it is very, very empowering if we do the right thing, if we have the right knowledge. As I just mentioned, if Pragya Mataji, Mukesh Ambani comes and says, Pragya Mataji, I'm always going to be with you. जीवन के साथ भी, जीवन के बाद भी. Imagine next time also you're going to have the same wealth of Mukesh Ambani. How happy you will be. And Krishna is saying the same thing. Krishna is offering the same thing to us. Okay, whatever I have that belongs to you. But हम लोग क्या कर रहे हैं यहाँ पे? We are running around, working very, very hard, day and night, ignoring the process of bhakti. Ignoring, we are thinking we will make our own way, leaving everything behind again and again. So Krishna is refuting that. Okay, last verse.
Because I am transcendental beyond both the fallible and the infallible, and because I am the greatest, I am celebrated both in the world and in the Vedas as a supreme person.
Krishna is saying that he is a person. This is the most important thing. God is a person. It is also said in Bible. Man is made in the image of God. The Bible will have. So God is a supreme person. He is a person like us. Rather we are like Him. Rather we are like Him. So that is the reason when we understand God is a person, we want to have a relationship with the Lord. We should have a relationship with the Lord. And as I was explaining last time also, when you have Lord at home, when you have the deities of Krishna at home or the photographs of Krishna at home, what can we do with Him? Who wants to answer? What did we discuss? If God is at home, what can you do with Him? Connect with Him? Serve Him? Offer? What else can we do? Talk to the deities. Offer bhoga to Krishna. What else can we do? Do kirtan with Krishna. What else can we do? Offer prayers to Him. When prayer becomes a habit, miracle becomes lifestyle. When prayer becomes a habit, miracle becomes a lifestyle. So when we have God at home, because Krishna is a person, He comes in the form of a photograph. He comes in the form of a statue, but He is not statue. Because we cannot see many things. Between you and me, there are so many bacteria. Can I see? Can you see? But are there no bacteria? There are so many rays, of mobile rays, radio rays. Can you see? Can I see? No. But does it mean it doesn't exist? We need to have special eyes to see atom. We need to have special eyes to see protons, neutrons. Similarly, we need to have special eyes to see Krishna. भगवान को देखने के लिए we need to have special eyes, and that eyes can be trained by years. The training of the eyes come from the years by listening about the Lord. Shravata swakata Krishna punya shravanam kirtanam hriday antohi abhadrani vidonti sutsatanam. First canto, second chapter, 17th verse. Krishna says, Bhagavatam mein, by hearing about Krishna, we will have understanding about Krishna. Without hearing about something, we cannot have understanding of Him. So the most important thing in bhakti is Shravanam. That means listening. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, then comes Padasevanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atma Nivedanam. That are the different processes. But the three most important processes, as Chaitanya Prabhu mentioned, Shravanam and then Kirtanam, repeating what we have heard. So it is very, very important because Krishna is a person. The biggest problem, I keep saying this, the biggest problem in India is people believe in God. The biggest problem in India is people believe in God, but they don't experience God. They believe in God, but they don't know God. Because they cannot experience God, they cannot know God. And Krishna is making Himself available to us so that we can experience Krishna. Krishna is making Himself available to us so that we can know Krishna. He is giving all the details of Himself. Where does He live? What does He like? How to go back to Him. But because we have been speculating all our life, we don't have the right knowledge. Do we agree with this? Yes or no? Yes. And everything starts with faith. Ado Shraddha, Tato Sadhu Sangha, Tata Bhajana Kriya. We need to have some faith, somewhere. We have faith in so many things in life. When we catch a plane from here to India, the Singapore Airlines, do we ask the pilot, show me your license? Isn't it pushna? How many hours of flying have you done before flying this plane? Do we ask the pilot, petrol to hai? Have anybody done this? We have so much of faith in Singapore Airlines. We have so much of faith in so many things in life. I don't want to go in detail. But But when it comes to understand Krishna or God, Quran or Bible, we are expert in speculating. We are expert in speculating. Why? Because we know if I accept it, then I have to follow it. Yet this is a very deep answer. I repeat. If I accept Quran is right, then I have to follow it. If I accept Bhagavad Gita is right, then I have to follow it. I might as well speculate and get away with it so that I can live my way. ऐसा होता ही नहीं होता है. सही बोला. Be very honest with yourself. No? This is, we are family knowing each other for the last 5-6 weeks. ऐसा होता ही नहीं होता है. If I know the truth of life, then I have to accept the truth of life. A very, very close family member of mine, he doesn't go for blood test. He doesn't go for blood test. आपने देखा है लोगों को कि पता लगा blood test करूँगा तो ABCD निकलेगा. देखिए ABCD क्या है? A for arthritis, B for blood pressure, C for cholesterol और D for diabetes. मुझे चाहिए नहीं, मैं blood test नहीं करता हूँ. Blood test ना करने से ABCD नहीं हो गया ऐसा तो नहीं है ना? But people, have you do you know anyone? Please be honest. Please raise your hand. Who you know that don't like to investigate about themselves. Please be honest. For so many hands. हमें भी कभी डर लगता है ना? देखा? हमें now we come to ourselves. हमें भी डर लगता है. मेरी वाइफ बोलती है क्या जाके ब्लड टेस्ट करा ले. डर लगता है कि यार कुछ आ गया तो फर्स्ट खाने में प्रॉब्लम होगा. शुगर बंद करवा देंगे. उसका कदम जैसा हो वैसा होगा. My father-in-law says, my wife is over here. My father-in-law says, क्या फर्क पड़ेगा? 4 लोग उठा के जाएंगे ना, ठीक है कोई बात नहीं. That is their problem. मुझे जीने दो. This is his philosophy. जो होगा देखा जाएगा. Let me live life in size. पर एक बार झटका आता है जीवन में तो सब सीधे हो जाते हैं. So similarly, we know what is right. We know what is wrong. So Krishna is saying, I am a person. Krishna is saying, I am a person. And if we deal with him as a person, he will reciprocate with us as it is. Ye yathamam prabandante tam sathaivam bhajam aham. He says, as you surrender all to me, I reward you accordingly. You take one step towards Krishna, Krishna take 10 steps towards you. Tesa satatam yuktanam bhajantam priti purvatam. Again he repeats the same message. As you come towards me, I give you the knowledge to come to me. But what are we busy in? We are busy in so many things. India के मैच में क्या होगा? Black Friday में क्या होगा? And we have so many other priorities. We are so busy in things which actually really doesn't bother to us. We are so busy in things which actually people don't care about. अगर इंडिया जीत भी जाती तो विराट कोहली आपके घर आता है. नहीं सिर्फ बी ऑनेस्ट विद योरसेल्फ. इंडिया जीत भी जाती या इंडिया हार भी जाती, how much worried we were for them and how much worried are they for us? Is Virat Kohli, Dhoni, I don't even know, are they worried for us? Is any Bollywood star worried for us? Is any politician worried for us? We keep talking and Modi को ये करना चाहिए and केजरीवाल को ये करना चाहिए and Joe Biden has to do this and Putin should behave like this. We are so much worried about the world that we have stopped worrying about ourselves. Isn't it true? We are so much worried about others that we have actually stopped worrying about ourselves. जन्म करते साल परोपकार. First, look after yourself and then we should think about others. This is what Shastra says. When we go on a flight, plane में जाते हैं, तो what do they say? When there is emergency, put mask first on yourself and then on others. हम लोग क्या करते हैं? What do? We are trying to किसके मुंह पे मास्क लगाओ? माता जी आपके, तो मुझे आपके मुंह पे मास्क लगाओ. Shall I put mask on you? अरे भाई, emergency is in our life. We are racing towards death. We are running towards death. It is a time to change the body in any second, but we are not bothered about ourselves. Why? Because of avidya, because of lack of knowledge. And Bhagavad Gita teaches us how to open the eyes which are ointed with avidya. So when Krishna is saying he is a person, that means we should have relationship with Krishna as a person. It is very, very simple. So when we can do many things, as Mataji and Prabhuji mentioned, treat him as a person first. Offer some bhoga to Krishna. Not that कि हम लोग वहाँ पे बैठ के दाल रोटी चावल सब खा रहे हैं, वहाँ पे थोड़ा दूध खिला दिया. This is what happens. Now, Urmi Mataji, you can correct me if I'm wrong. हम श्रीनाथ जी वाले, we have श्रीनाथ जी दीदी से भोग. भगवान को दूध देते हैं और हम लोग वहाँ पे बिरयानी खाते हैं, रोटी खाते हैं, सब कुछ हम खाते हैं. भगवान को दूध में ठीक है, he is happy with milk. अरे भाई, he is giving everything. Why can't you give everything to him? Why can't you give everything to him? Am I right? Urmi Mataji, this is what we do. भगवान को इतना दूध दे दिया, इतना फ्रूट दे दिया, and thank God. Yesterday only I was telling Krishna is so kind. When you give him 4 apples, he gives you 4 apples back. You give him 4 mangoes, Krishna gives you 4 mangoes back. Imagine Krishna would have had 1 apple, 1 mango, people would stop even giving apple and mango to Krishna. Yes or no? Sorry, Paul, be honest with yourself. Huh? If you give 4 apples to Krishna, and again imagine 2 apples or 2 mangoes disappear, people will stop giving that. Krishna knows how fallen we are. इसीलिए Krishna is saying, whatever you give to me, I will give you that as it is, and I will add my love to you. What a return of investment. Any Gujaratis apart from myself? Gujaratis? Only one. 2. Look, this is actually return of investment. You give something, you put something as a bhoga, and it comes as prashadam. इससे अच्छा return of investment क्या होगा? भगवान की प्रसाद means mercy. What is prasad means? Mercy. You put food as matter and it comes as spirit. What a return of investment. When you put $5,000 in the bank and it comes as $50,000, who will not put it in 1 minute? In 10 minutes, imagine you are being told, okay, put $5,000 in the bank, within 10 minutes it becomes $50,000. Everyone will put it. This is much more than that, devotees. This is much more than that. भगवान को भोग लगाना, जो घर पे खाते हैं वो ठाकुर जी को देना. But Krishna is vegetarian. Don't offer chicken biryani and mutton pulao. Krishna is vegetarian. He doesn't have onion and garlic, so we don't have it. Simple. Krishna doesn't like it, we don't like it. Krishna is a person. Offer bhoga to him, offer an aarti to him, talk to him, dress him, and see how your life changes. Try it for 6 months. Try it for 6 months. There is no contract. When we came as a student over here in 90s, 99, 2000, we had a Telstra का 24-month का contract होता था. Optus के साथ 24-month का contract होता था. You remember the mobile days? Where you buy the handset and you're stuck with Telstra for 24 months. You go with Optus, you get stuck for 24 months. You remember those days? With Krishna, there is no contract. You try it. Bhakti is a choice. Bhakti is a choice. Try it out. See how it goes. Alright, next. We are in the 16th chapter. So Krishna, yes, so now Krishna has just spoken the whole Bhagavad Gita summary in 3 verses. Why are we over here? Who are not over here? So 2 categories of people. Fallible and infallible. Krishna is saying, every life I am with you. Not a single life I am not with you. And Krishna is saying, I am a person. When we understand these 3 things, I am Jiva, Krishna is Ishvara, and my relationship with Krishna is I am the servant of Krishna. I am meant to be serving Krishna. Jivere Solpoi Krishna Nitya Das. We are servant of Krishna. We either serve Krishna or we either serve Maya. You either serve Krishna or you either serve Maya. Without service, we cannot do anything. Service is must. The nature of the soul is dynamic. Atma is dynamic. Atma is not static. So you have to serve. Without service, you cannot be quiet. Every second we are serving. Even sitting over here peacefully, your senses are going all over the place. आप सोच रहे कि इनका बंद करेगा. प्रशांत क्या है, कल का क्या है, सोच लो ना, कुछ ना कुछ तो चलता रहता है. The mind keeps thinking, isn't it? So the nature of the soul is to serve, and Bhagavad Gita teaches this: how to serve, whom to serve, when to serve. Yes, Chaitanya.
In the book 3.17, it's mentioned 3 worlds. We talk about spiritual world and material world. What is the third world?
Swargaloka and Nargaloka, and then Goloka. Right, so we have heavenly planets, right, and then hellish planets, and then the original world where we eternally belong to, Goloka or Vaikuntha planet or whatever you want to call it. But good question. 3 words. Alright, let's jump on to the 16th chapter, the final chapter for today. Oh boy. The divine and demoniac nature. Now Krishna is going to explain the quality of a divine person. Krishna is going to explain the quality of a demoniac person. Okay? Very important. The ध्यान से quality सुनना, we will not go into detail, but just focus on the qualities and then we will take further. Who can read? You can read it? So these are 26 qualities which Krishna is going to talk about. These are 26 qualities which a devotee, a sadhu should have. Is what Krishna is talking about. Yes, please continue.
The Supreme Lord, the Supreme Personality of Godhead said, fearlessness, purification of one's existence, cultivation of spiritual knowledge, charity, self-control, performance of sacrifice, study of the Vedas, austerity, simplicity, non-violence, truthfulness, freedom from anger, renunciation, tranquility, aversion to false finding, compassion for all living entities, freedom from convictors, gentleness, modesty, steady determination, vigor, forgiveness, fortitude, cleanliness, and freedom from envy and from the passion of honor. These transcendental qualities also Bharata belong to godly men endowed with divine nature.
Yeah. So Krishna is explaining to Arjun the 26 qualities which all of us should try to imbibe. These are very, very important qualities. This will be used in material life and spiritual life. Both material life से भी फायदा होगा. हर quality, any quality you pick over here, and you see if you can work on it. Fearlessness, vigor, cleanliness, determination, steadiness. These qualities we may have heard about it in motivational talks. When you hear motivational talk of Tony Robbins or whoever it is, you may hear all these qualities. This is coming from Bhagavad Gita. These qualities are coming from Bhagavad Gita. So these are the divine qualities, and a guru has these qualities. A pure devotee of the Lord has all these 26 qualities in full. Okay? Next. And now, can you give it to someone else? Someone else can do it.
Ignorance consists anger, harshness, and ignorance. These qualities belong to the third of demonic nature of some.
Thank you. Pride. This is the first quality Krishna is talking about. How many of you believe you don't have pride? Anybody who thinks you don't have pride? Pride is one quality which is very subtle to accept. The moment you're angry, you know you're angry. The moment you're lusty, you know you're lusty. But the moment you have pride, you will never come to know your pride. Yes or no? कभी ऐसा लगता है कि मैं pride हूँ? The moment you feel you are not pride, that is the most dangerous moment because you are very proud of it. pride, arrogance. Look at what I have. Look at what I've achieved. Arrogance, conceit, anger. We can keep talking about anger. You know, गुस्से में लोग जो बोलते हैं, those are more powerful than the arrows. In anger, what we speak. I know someone in Point Cook, in Melbourne, honestly. Husband and wife, they broke off a relationship after so many years because of anger. Husband कुछ भी बोलता था, wife couldn't tolerate it. And then finally, husband couldn't control his anger and they went through a divorce with one son. Just because of anger. Very, very dangerous. Anger is one word short of danger. The word D agar laga do, danger. Why do people become angry? Because of self-ego. Ego. मैं कुछ हूँ and you listen to me. You follow me. I am at the center of your life. Because of avidya, because of ignorance, people become angry like this. Right? Harshness and ignorance. People treat each other very harshly. And these are the qualities all of us may have, does have, whatever it is. But Krishna is saying these qualities are demoniac. These qualities are demoniac. So, if we have it, and we should think that how do I improve these qualities? ये सब qualities अपने में है नहीं है, I leave that up to you. It is I have all the qualities. And Krishna is telling, if you have these qualities, then He is also giving you the medicine for the qualities. So Krishna is identifying a disease for us, and also Krishna is giving a medicine for us. Satato Kito Yanto Mam. He said, chant my holy name. Chant my holy name. Man mana bhavan bhakto madhyani mam namasuru mam evya vyasi satyamte pratijani priyosi. Pay obeisance to me, offer homage to me, worship me, become my devotee. In this way you will come to me. Krishna is saying again and again in Bhagavad Gita. So if we have divine and demonic qualities, we need to see where are we at. So Krishna is giving us an insight about our own self. These qualities are giving us insight about our own self. We should not think, my husband has this, my wife has it, certainly my mother-in-law has this. The moment you think, हम लोग ये सोचते हैं ये qualities किसमें है? मेरी सास में सारी qualities है, ससुर में सारी qualities है. No, these are qualities with us, isn't it? And now the most important part Krishna is going to talk about. Who wants to read the next?
There are three great things to this hell: lust, anger, and greed. Every sane man should give these up, for they lead to the degradation of the soul.
Yeah. Lust, anger, and greed. Lag, L-A-G. Prabhupada says lust, anger, and greed are the royal road to hell. What is it? Royal road to hell. Lust. Of course, we spoke about this last time, so we won't go into detail. But lust doesn't only mean sexual lust, but lust also means anything which we want to enjoy. I am the enjoyer. I am the proprietor. I am the maintainer. When we have this Brahm, कि सब कुछ मेरा है, everything is mine, and everything belongs to mine, and everything needs to be enjoyed by mine, that is lust. Anger, we spoke about anger, I won't go in detail, but greed, I cannot stop where I greed. Mahatma Gandhi said, there's enough for everybody's need, but not enough for one person's greed. There's enough for everybody's need, but we don't have enough for one person's greed. The biggest problem in life, people don't know what they need. We don't know what we need. Actually, roti kapda makan is enough. To live a happy life, to live a peaceful life, isn't this enough? Roti kapda makan, or kya chahiye? But then what do we want? What do we want? You tell me, huh? More. Kya chahiye? Chalo, what do people crave for? Let's have a quick 2 minutes discussion. What? Bada gun. what else? Investment properties. Okay, what else? Flashy cars. People should have. What else?
Peaceful life.
Peaceful life. Oh, it's a birthday catch. Holidays. Luxury holidays. Cruise में जाना है. Or what else? What do people get from it? Fame. What do we actually find? हम लोग थोड़ी खुशी पाने के लिए कितना गम करते हैं, इसीलिए बोलते हैं थोड़ी खुशी थोड़ा गम. What do we actually need in our life? If you can identify what we need in our life, that person will always be blissful. The moment we know someone has a bigger house than us, we also want to have a bigger house. The moment we know someone has a bigger car, we also need to have a bigger car. The moment I know कि उसका बेटा ना martial arts जा रहा है, I also want my kids to go to martial arts. The moment उसका बेटी swimming में जा रही है, I want to make sure my daughter dips into water. No satisfaction. I just gave a class now in Mount Beverly about satisfaction. I don't want to go into that. I just gave a 1 hour talk in Mount Beverly. Every day के वहाँ से आ रहा हूँ. Just on satisfaction. What do we need in our life if we cannot identify this one aspect? कि मुझे मेरे जीवन में से क्या चाहिए, वो आदमी पूरा जीवन भर, sorry, I'm sure you understand Hindi by now. You know me for 10 years. If you don't know what you need in your life, you will never be happy with what you have. Because the whole life is going with show and tell. You know what is show and tell? In school, we have kids show and tell, right? Go and show and then tell. And this is what we do as adults also. Look at a 4-bedroom house with 3 laundry rooms. There's a temple in the house which I don't look after. I have a big car. Not one big car, 2 SUVs. I'm going on this holiday. And then we put the photographs on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and where not. What is actually all this? We spend the prime time of our life in front of prime. We spend our most important time of your life in Instagram, where we are going to come into Instagrams. मृत्यु के टाइम पे Instagram हो जाते हैं. This 80 kilos of body comes into 500 grams of ashes. Instagram, Netflix. Look at the words which people are helping us to connect. 1 second में flick होने वाले. Netflix. From one yoni to another yoni. All of this, we see this, but we don't open our eyes. And Krishna is saying, because of greed, a greedy person cannot think beyond what he wants. A greedy person doesn't think beyond what he wants. I'm just coming from Mount Beverly, and the person where we went, he was sharing with me. He was telling me that, Prabhuji, because of inflation and increase of interest rate, people's mortgages has become 4 times to 5 times. Even then, people are not realizing. This is what he was saying. First time he attends a program, he lives in Point Cook, he comes to his sister's house in Mount Beverly, and he was sharing this. Okay, the mortgage has gone 4 to 5 times high, but people's greed has not come down slightly. And these are his words. And I was shocked to hear. A person was attending first time a program, and he's saying this, that people doesn't want to slow down. Why? Because of greed. And Krishna is saying this is royal road to hell. Nark ka rasta. Because when you have a lot of greed, when you have a lot of lust, when you have a lot of anger, that person can never be happy. That person can never be happy. A very, very good friend of mine, before COVID, he had 2 investment properties. He was living okay. Apna ghar and 2 investment properties. From 5% to 1% interest, or whatever 0% interest rate happened, he bought 4 properties within a span of 2 years. The COVID period. And this is real life. Now things have changed from 2% to 7% or whatever the interest rate is, I don't know. Whatever the interest rate is. Now, he is working day and night. His wife has been pushed to go to work, and they have no peace in their life. And then he makes very good money. He makes very good money. But in spite of having so much of wealth, he can't even take his time off. Why? Because of greed. Because of greed. So simple living, high thinking. Simple living, high thinking. When I came into Krishna consciousness, I attended a seminar in Hare Krishna Valley. This is 16, 17 years ago. And in that, Devamitra Swami Maharaj, I don't know how many of you know, he was giving a class over there. He's from MBA, he studied from Yale University with Bill Clinton and very high profile. So he studied with those people. And while Maharaj was giving a class, a young teenager, not teenager, probably 21, 22 years, he stood up and he said, Swamiji, I agree with what you said. And that was a topic of happiness. My grandfather had much lesser things than my father. And my father has less things than me. But I am more miserable than my father, and my father is more miserable than my grandmother. Do we all agree with this statement, what he made?
Yes.
Everybody are nodding. What does it mean? Less is more. But what do we have in concept? अपने दिमाग में क्या है? दिल मांगे मोर. राजीव प्रभु ने, मैंने तो पेप्सी में भी बोला राजीव प्रभु ने. Dil mange more. You look at what is happening today, Black Friday, yesterday, the roads are blocked. कितने कपड़े चाहिए? How many clothes can you wear? How many pairs of shoes? Unless you're Jay Lalita, that is different. How many? Actually, how much we need? When we, 17, 18 years ago, we used to live in Tarnit. This is 2002. This time Tarnit का नाम लोगों ने सुना भी नहीं था. People didn't know about. People were not even aware a suburb called Tarnit. And 2002 we used to live over there. And I know someone who bought a house, husband and wife, 5-bedroom house in Tarnit, fully furnished. And he was saying, okay, I purchased a house, but I don't know what to do with other rooms. Every room is flashed, and husband and wife are working day and night. And I was like, why did you buy this? He said, अच्छा लगता है. लोगों को दिखाने के लिए भी अच्छा लगता है. When people come into my house, they think I am successful in life. Isn't this what happens in our mind? Most of the time, we try to prove to others that look at who I am. Is it yes or no? Please be honest. We are always in the mood of show and tell. How long can we do this for? How long can we have an artificial life? And because of this artificial life, the Atma, the soul, can never be happy. You can externally move a chuna lagalo, you can put some powder and lipstick, but that is beyond the reality of life. So Krishna is saying lust, anger and greed are the royal road to hell. That is the reason a life of a devotee is a very simple life. Simple living, high thinking. Nowadays people are hardly thinking and hardly living. They are just in a rat race. Big car, big house. Why? Why do we need it? Narayan Murthy, if he can stay in an apartment or a small house. Warren Buffett, if he can stay in the house which he purchased in 1963, the richest, one of the richest man in the world, why can't we do it? It's just a question. Why can't we have a simple life which is focused and tailored around my family, my kids, and the society? If we can start doing, see how your life changes. How life changes. I'm not telling not to make money. पैसा बनाना जरूरी है. But keeping life simple is more important. I'm a Gujarati. I will not allow one opportunity to go past me. If we can make money, why not? But not at the cost of sleepless nights, not at the cost of bhakti. No matter whatever happens. What is the point? If I'm going to leave everything behind me, then why? That's a question an intelligent person asks. Why can't I give my right values to my kids? Yesterday night, what happened? I'll tell you, and we'll stop over here. A person comes into my program in Newsday. He comes for the first time, and the way we have books over here today, we had the books yesterday. And I requested him, Prabhu, can you please take this book? And he said, yes, sure. And I said, the second book first is Bhagavad Gita, and second is a Krishna book. I said, who will read Krishna book? He's asking me. I said, do you have kids? He said, yes. I said, how old is your kid? Now listen to this very carefully. He said, my son is 13 years old. I said, why didn't you bring him over here? He said, it's too late. What did he say? It is too late. I said, what does it mean? He said, Prabhuji, I have lost giving him the right values. I have lost giving him the right touch of spirituality. I have lost showing him the way, and he refused to come to this program. How old is he? 13 years. And while talking, first time, I don't know this gentleman is, he started crying in the program. So we are so busy giving big cards to our kids, but we have forgotten to give samskar to our kids. We are living in such big houses and such mansion that everybody is in their own rooms. And then we see the bachche na mobile se chhute hi nahi hai. Pura big screen pe hote. How? Because we have created this. We are responsible for it. We are accountable for this. Yes or no?
Yes.
100%. Why can't we have a small family? Two bedroom ka ghar ho, one bedroom ka ghar ho. Why can't we be happy? That is more important. Simple living. Simple living. I can tell you something about myself, not to show off. I have been in Australia for 24 years. 24 years, even now, we live in a 2-bedroom house. 2 bedrooms से कभी 24 years में मैं कभी बड़ा ही नहीं हुआ. Not that I didn't have big houses, not that I can't afford. Krishna has been very merciful to us. 2 bedrooms, that's enough. बच्चे साथ में, बीवी के सामने हैं. I can look at my kids. That is enough. What else do you need in life? Then you are responsible for 4 bedrooms. Every kid needs 1 room. ये कहाँ लिखा है? How many of you had your own rooms? I never had my own bedroom. We never had a 1 bedroom. Even now, my parents have 2-bedroom house, a flat. My wife has 2-bedroom flat in Mumbai. Enough. 10 people can live very happily. But in a big house with 4 bedroom and lawns and rumpus and this, people are just lost in life. Sorry, I didn't want to say this. This was not part of the script. So it is not part of the script. But look at what is happening. Dekho, aajkal hota kya hai? And we are responsible for it. And this is because of greed. The point I'm trying to make and relate it, this is because of greed. So if we don't have bhakti as a foundation of the life, if we don't have good association as a foundation of our life, if we don't have chanting the holy name as a center of our prayers, then things may not look good. We will just lose life, and again, punararpina marana, purararpicharana, concentration. Life after life, life after life, life after life will be rolling. It's exactly 6:10. And then we shall stop. We'll stop over here. Next 20 minutes. It's an open forum. We can have discussions, question answers, corrections, commitments. Yes. Prabhuji, question. You can just pardon me. Oh, okay. Gaurav, if you can manage the mic.
Prabhuji, my question is on the person who has invested on more properties. Doesn't that mean he has taken more responsibilities on him to help the society? That is one question I used to have. When you grow up with greater roles in your life, obviously you are taking greater responsibilities towards the society. So doesn't that mean that he is taking some responsibilities towards the society and he is taking harsh on him as well?
Beautiful question. The question is, when you buy more, haven't you taken more responsibility for the society? That's the question. How many have you seen this movie called Superman? Or Spider-Man? Spider-Man, what does he say? With great power comes great responsibility. With great power comes great responsibility. What is our responsibility in life? Is it to buy houses?
No.
Buy big cars?
No.
What is the responsibility as in the human form of life?
To help people. Manav Seva is Manav Seva.
Madhav Seva is Manav Seva, and Manav Seva is Madhav Seva. Yes. Help others. How can you help others? By building, by buying 2, 3, 4, 5 houses and working day and night like dogs and cats?
But the society is even built in the same direction.
Society is going in one direction, but does it mean we have to go in the same direction?
But if I mean, change may not happen with one person.
Yes, I'm not against buying more properties. I'm an investor myself. I haven't invested by myself. I buy properties and I have properties, right? I'm an investor. But not, the point I'm trying to make is not because of greed. If you can afford it comfortably, why not? Buy mansion. But that should not come at the cost of bhakti.
Okay.
If you can comfortably buy, then buy. Why buy one or buy a big mansion? But that should be very easy. Not husband is working day and night, wife is working day and night, and kids are, I don't know what my son is doing, what my daughter is doing. We don't have time to give it to them. Why? Because I give them properties. No. What do we do now? We give them iPhone, we give them iPod, we give them iMac, we give them iWatch, but we don't give I to them. We don't give I to the kids. We give iPhone, iPad, iMac, iWatch to the kids, but we don't give I to the kids. What do kid needs? Love. And how can that come? By iPhone, iPad, or by I? By I. Thank you, Ranjit. By I. What do? We think giving gadgets to kids, that is a sign of progress. See, my kids have iPhone, iPad, iMac. But where is I? If we don't give parents and if we don't give our time to them, then what is the point? So if you want to have big houses, nothing wrong into it. But if you can give the right time to the kids, right values to the kids, without sleepless nights and working like donkeys day and night, then do it. But not at the cost of losing time for bhakti. That is the point.
Yes, Prabhuji. Second question is that you have told the parent has lost, the kid has lost the balance and the parent is saying that it is out of hands now. So isn't it that written to the parent that he has to get it demonstrated?
What is the second part of the question? I didn't understand. What is?
Isn't it written?
In turn.
Isn't it written on the what do you say, on the
His destiny is like that.
in his destiny, yeah.
Okay.
In the parent's destiny that he has to get this child who has the devilish qualities. How should I take that?
Okay, that's a good question. The question what Matan is asking, we spoke about a 13-year-old boy who has no exposure to spirituality from childhood. Is that part of his destiny? The answer to that, no. It is parents' responsibility to give them the right culture. It is parents' responsibility. If I am failing to give food to my son, it is not in his destiny. It is my karma that I should look after him. Tomorrow morning, I can't tell I'm not going to feed my kids because they have to go and cook and clean by themselves. No, I have taken the responsibility of bringing them into this world. It is my responsibility to deliver them. I'll give you a very, very heavy statement. Are you all ready for this very heavy statement? Yeah. If you can say loudly Haribol, I will speak it. Haribol, short. 5th canto, 5th chapter, 28th verse, Srimad Bhagavatam. Rishabdev says, you should not be a father, you should not be a mother, you should not be a guru, you should not be a friend, you should not be a demigod if you cannot deliver your dependence. I repeat. Please pay very careful attention. When I heard this for the first time, I hit Gita. You should not be a father, you should not be a husband, you should not be a mother, you should not be a friend, you should not be a guru, you should not be a demigod, devi or deva, unless you can deliver your dependent. What does it mean? Now I'll explain. The goal of life, of the human form of life, is to deliver your dependence. If you have a wife, it is my responsibility to make sure that she doesn't take a birth again in the next life. If I have a son or a daughter, it is my responsibility that they should not come back in this material world. If I'm a husband, if I'm a friend, this is Shastra saying, 5th chapter, 5th canto, 5th chapter, 28th verse. Bhagavad is saying very clearly, you should not have dependence unless you can liberate them. Giving big house, big education, big car, it is fine. Nothing wrong. But our duty of a parent, duty of a husband, duty of a mother, duty of a friend, and the duty of a guru is very clear in Shastras. That your dependence should not come back again in this life. Very heavy. Very heavy. When I heard this for the first time, मेरा पूरा वीकेंड, जैसे आप बता रहे ना दीप्ति माता जी नींद नहीं आई, मुझे भी नींद नहीं आई. I lost my sleep. I thought giving a house to a wife and some good food and having this is the perfection of life because this is what we have seen. But there's a higher reality that if you don't want to come back again to this life, we should make sure that our dependents don't come back again to this life. If I want to escape and go back to Krishna in this lifetime, I'm responsible for my dependents that they don't come back again over here. And if that is the goal of a parenting life, if that is the goal of a relationship between husband and wife, if that is the goal of a guru and shishya, then that is a perfect relationship. I'm coming back to you, Rishabh. So, having big houses, investment houses, or when the kids are not following economic karma, no, it is my responsibility. I am a father, I will try to give everything possible to my son, to my daughter, to my wife, to my parents, that they don't come back in this life. That is the perfection of duty. Suna hai aisa kabhi? This is perfection of duty. Why should we come back? That doesn't mean that we will not do our responsibility. We will be extra careful to do our responsibility. With more caution, with more love, with more affection, but taking them in a very prayerful mood back to Krishna in this lifetime. This is the mood of a devotee. Very heavy. Sit on the thought and understand what this is all about. Yes, Rishabh. Was it very heavy? Yes? आपने तो सुना होगा ना भाई? Very heavy. When I heard it, I had sleepless nights. I thought whatever I am doing, perfect. That's why मैं जॉब है, पैसे कमा रहा हूँ, टाइम घर ले गया था उस टाइम, बीवी है, बच्चा है. I thought I'm doing so right. And then life gives you a reality. There's something higher to this, Baba. Yes, Richa Manager.
I sometimes feel that it's easier to give guidance to my own children because I can share my thoughts and all things that I'm learning from the books, Guru, and here with them. But if I share with the adults, they resist a lot.
If you share with adults?
With adults. They fight with me. My friends or my relatives or anybody in adults, they resist it and they literally bring me down. I myself go so down and I at times doubt myself and get confused and I lose a lot of power and energy. I think this is heavy what you shared, but it's very painful as well.
Yes, so the question is when we share the knowledge of absolute truth with others, people may not accept it. Correct? This is the question. And most of the time, people who don't accept this knowledge is our parents, to be honest.
Yeah, them as well, friends as well.
Friends. Anybody who is close to us. Why? Why? I tell you, and I've gone through this. And I used to do this. When I came into Krishna consciousness, I used to tell my parents, Ahara Nidra Bhai Bhai Kucha, क्या कर रहे हो? Eating, sleeping in different things. जिंदगी waste कर रहे हो. And then when I had my son, who came a little bit older, when he was answering me back, I thought कि मैंने जब बच्चे को nappy change की है, जिसे नलाया है, वो मुझे सीख दे रहा है how do I feel. So our parents may not accept what we are saying now because they have seen us growing, right? They have seen us growing, but that doesn't mean we stop at our parents. We have 7 billion customers in life. How many customers do we have? 7 billion, not million. We have 7 billion customers. There are 7 billion people in the world, apart from other living entities. So try, if you think something is right, don't restrict yourself to only family, only friends, and especially if they are reluctant to understand this. Walk away from it. There are many people. जारे देखो तारे कहो कृष्ण उपदेश हमारा आज्ञा होए तारे देश. So what is the instruction from Krishna? जारे देखो तारे देखो कृष्ण उपदेश. Wherever we go, whoever we see, what do we speak? Krishna उपदेश. हमारा आज्ञा होए. This is my order. We should speak about Krishna. Machita markata pranam bodha yanta parasparam katha yanta cha nityam. Katha yanta cha nityam. We should always talk about Krishna katha, nityam, eternally. But we should also see, is it the right patra, right person to accept what I am saying. You cannot come and sell me a different diamond because I cannot afford it. You cannot come and sell me a Rolls Royce because I can't afford it. That doesn't mean that your product is wrong. I am not capable enough to buy your product. It is my fault. Similarly, if you want to make something high, then you need to look for people who can afford something high. So don't think that Mummy Papa ne mana kar diya, my friends are saying no to the philosophy of Bhagavad Gita, that means they are not accepting it. No, that is because of your attachment towards them, they are not accepting it. So go to someone else. From attachment comes expectation, from expectation comes frustration. And you are frustrated because of you're attached to your parents. And because they are not accepting something. That's okay. First, focus on your sadhana and preach or give this philosophy to someone who can take it. And to do that, I forgot to mention, this month, in December, we have Gita Jayanti. Gita Jayanti is a day when Bhagavad Gita was spoken from Krishna to Arjuna. So I've got some books over here. We call this book Marathon Month. We go out and give books to people on the streets, on train stations, everywhere. So if I can request everybody to take 2 or 3 copies of these books and give it to your friends and family. This is called Gyan Dan. What you are doing is giving knowledge as Dan. You are not expecting anything from them. You want to give something. Give these books to them. These books are time bomb. These books are time bomb. When you open any page of Bhagavad Gita randomly and read it and implement it, that person's life will change. So my humble request to a lot of you and all of you, please take 2 or 3 or 4 copies of Bhagavad Gita as your pack hai. The donation which you give, it will go towards the temple to print the books. We are not here to make money. We have never asked any money from anybody. Krishna is very wealthy. But when you do this, it helps the temple to print more books. So if I can request, I'm going to be 15-20 because the program where I went before, they took away all the books. I said, "Thodi rakho, mujhe shaam ke program ke liye chahiye." So there are only few books left, probably not even 15-20 books. So if I can request, everybody can take 2 or 3 copies or 4 copies. I said over there, take 4 copies, make a donation of $101 because it costs $25 to print the books and give it to someone. So Richa Mata, if you want to give something to others, give these books and look for clients who are receptive. I can't buy Tiffany, I can't buy Rolls Royce, but someone else can. So don't be disheartened. Everybody is looking for Krishna. Everybody is looking for Krishna. Yes, Ravi.
My question is on free will. Swami mentioned that this asked you know what is why, but still you don't choose the right path. Same thing happened with Duryodhana also. He knew what is right, he did not choose the right path. Same thing happened with us also. We know this is right, but we don't take that path. We still go the different floor together. So what happens with us? Is it prefix or these questions keep coming into our time?
No. So Krishna has given minute independence of freedom to everybody to change our destiny. We are not. We are not pre-programmed robots. We are not pre-programmed robots. We have a choice. You could have come over here, or you could have come for a Black Friday sale.
I didn't do anything.
Which Nama and Gopal? So car number 5ZT, Toyota Corolla. उसके नीचे $200 पड़े नहीं हैं. Can you go and move your car? लक्ष्मी को बहुत मजा आया. मैंने बोला $200 नहीं पड़े. ठीक है. So free will, yes, Krishna has given us free will so that we can choose it. Duryodhana knew. Duryodhana said, मुझे पता है कि ये युद्ध का अर्थ क्या होने वाला है. This is before the war. Duryodhana said this. But because of the desire to enjoy something so high, you ask a diabetic patient, रसगुल्ला खाना मना है, गुलाब जामुन खाना मना है. In spite of that, they have it. देखा? Have you seen a diabetic patient having sweets?
Father-in-law will take us sugar.
Yes.
Have sugar as well. If no sweet, we need us to go to sugar to box and
Why? Why does this happen? We know smoking cigarette is injurious to health. Cigarette के डब्बे पे लिखा होता है. People buy कैंसर के फोटोग्राफ दिखाते हैं. गुटखा, हम गुजराती बोले तो गुटखा हमेशा मुंह में होता है. 24 hours गुटखा goes on. उसका पैकेट पर लिखा होता है. Why? Because lack of sense control. Lack of sense control. We know what is right. We know what is wrong. In spite of that, we do it. So bhakti is a process of converting curses into blessings. Bhakti is a process of converting curse into blessings. You put some material food, it becomes prasad. You say something materially, Bhagwan ka naam lo, it comes into a transcendental vibration of sound. You read a book or you read Gita, just convert. Bhakti is a process of converting actions into blessings. So we are not telling no to any actions. Action to karna hai. Kuch to karoge path. Krishna says this to Arjuna. Kuch to karoge path. Why not do the right thing? Chant the holy name. Treat Krishna as a person at your house. Have a relationship with him. Bhakto ka sang karo. So come to the temple and serve the temple. Do some seva. There's so many opportunities. Unlimited opportunities. But don't speculate. The problem is we think ये process अच्छा है, वो process अच्छा है. No. Hare Nama, केवलम. Kalu naste करते रहते. Krishna is saying Hare Nama, he kevalam. Only the holy name is kevalam. Nothing else is required. But because we don't have the taste of chanting the holy name 24/7, 24 घंटा भगवान का नाम नहीं ले सकते, तो कहीं तो शुरू करो बाबा. Chant 10 minutes a day, chant half an hour a day, chant 2 hours a day. A practicing devotee in Krishna consciousness, like the Mataji's picture by Tate, they chant 16 rounds of Hare Krishna mantra every day. कितने rounds? 16 rounds of Hare Krishna mantra every day we chant. I'll ask a question and then we'll stop over there. What is the value of the name of the Lord? Bhagwan के नाम की क्या कीमत है? What is the value of the name of the Lord? Priceless. What is the value?
to connect with the God.
To connect with the God. But what is the price of the holy name of the Lord? lot of value. Assuming, can I have the please? Assuming the value of the holy name is $1. Kitna? The value of the holy name is loudly, kitna? $1. हरे कृष्णा मंत्र में कितने शब्द हैं? 16. हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे रामा 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 हरे हरे. How much money have you made now? $16. You have just made $16. Of course, the name of the God is priceless, but our mentality is material. Gujarati hai, baniya hai, so we have to put some value, right? $1, and we have just made 16. In this mala, there are 108 beads. How many beads? 108 beads. Each bead you start Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Ram Ram, Ram Hare. And we complete this 108 times. So 16 into 108, how many dollars? $1,728 in one round of chanting the holy name. Yes or no? Do we agree with this simple math or not? Yes. But chanting one round of Hare Krishna mantra, it takes 7 to 8 minutes. This Prabhuji chants 16 rounds minimum every day.
You are doing 64, Prabhu.
16 rounds ये करते हैं. तो 16 into 108 into 16 rounds कितने हुए? $27,000 a day. And that takes only 2 hours to make. 2 घंटा, we have been told by Srila Prabhupada to chant 16 rounds every day. In 2 hours, I don't know how many of you make $27,000 eternally, but if you can make it, why not? Why not? भगवान के नाम पे अनलिमिटेड वैल्यू होती है. You put $1 into 16 into 108 into 16 rounds is $27,000 a day in your eternal bank account. You may be a billionaire in this life, you may be a millionaire, but at the time of death, you are just $5 of chemicals, $5.60 chemicals. जो ash, the ash of a body, when you go and sell it, the chemicals of that ash is $5.60. That is the value of the ash. But when you chant the holy name every day, look at your bank account, how it is increasing. Is it making sense? Can you relate to this? If you can't chant 16 rounds every day, chant 2 rounds a day, chant 4 rounds a day. Start somewhere and have some faith. Have some faith. Yes, Janamani. When you offer food to Krishna, how do we know he has accepted? Krishna says this in Bhagavad Gita, I accepted. He accepted. Krishna says, I accepted. What does Krishna accept? He doesn't accept the puri, the chole, the biryani. He accepts the love. What does Krishna accept? The love. Krishna is Bhava Gyani Janardhana. He is not Vastu Gyani Janardhana. Krishna is Bhava Gyani Janardhana. He is not Vastu Gyani Janardhana. He is not accepting the Vastu. He is not accepting Puri Chole Sabji. He is accepting the Bhav behind it. That my Lord, I haven't fed you since morning. You may be hungry. Please accept this. And he accepts. Patram pushpam phalam toyam yome bhakta prayashati tadham bhakta paratma. He says, I accept it. He said, I accept it. So we offer it. Offer it. And when you taste Prashadam Mataji, you will feel a difference. Someone came to the temple 3 weeks ago. He said, Pata nahi kya hai ye khane mein? What did he say? I don't know what is there in this food, but it is very different. How many of you have felt Prashadam is different? Everybody. What is there in that food? Krishna's love. When Krishna eats, his saliva goes into the food. That is the reason it becomes sweet. Bachcho ki laad, the saliva of Krishna goes into that food. That is the reason prasadam is always sweet. We don't taste it while cooking it. There's no onion, there's no garlic, we don't put spicy masala or anything. It's a simple sattvic food. It is so nourishing. Why? Because Lord accepts it. You put the same food in front of a Mercedes or Ferrari and then taste it. And you put the food in front of a DD photograph or Krishna. You taste it. And you say, melody khao, kuch aayega. Yes, Mother. What is the definition of destiny, O Krishna? Why hard to ask question? Hard question now. Definition of destiny is, in very simple terms, Krishna mentioned this in the 6th chapter because Arjuna is asking the question, where are we going to land? Krishna answers, destiny means if you change something, you land somewhere. And if you don't change something, you land where you're supposed to go. I repeat, very simple. Destiny means you change something, then you go there. Or you land something if you don't change anything. So in a cruise control car, if you don't change anything, it keeps going and going at the same pace. If you don't change the lifestyle, if you don't change the karma, whatever we have to suffer or enjoy, that will come. But when we perform bhakti, the good karma and the bad karma both get vanquished. When we chant the holy name, if I'm supposed to see something very bad, something terrible, that gets vanquished. And if I'm supposed to enjoy something which is not favorable for my bhakti, that gets vanquished. So the destiny can be changed in the path of bhakti. So the definition of bhakti, Krishna says, something which can be changed. But destination is not predefined. Destination is not predefined that you are going to do this only. No, you can change your destiny. Or why would we come over here? And why would we do something which everything is pre-programmed, predefined? Then why would we do? We can change the destiny. And we are supposed to change it. Animals can't change destiny. Animals cannot change the destiny. But we can change destiny. Shall we stop over here? I can stay back and answer questions if you want. But my humble request, I couldn't get a lot of copies. If you can take 2 or 4 copies, 4 copies is idle. And if you need more, then I can bring it next week. But if you can take 4 copies, give it to your friends, give it to your family members. It is called Gyan Dan. Right? Christmas hai. Give it this as a Chris Kringle. Chris Kringle. Give this. Why not? Yes.
Puja message.
Yes. Oh, Mataji, question. Yes. Very good. I was expecting this question. Because Arjuna is asking, how do we transcend the 3 modes? We should not be in the mode of goodness. We should certainly not be in the mode of passion and ignorance. We should be in the mode of transcendental goodness. Transcendental goodness means in the mode of Shuddha Bhakti. Yes. Very important question. Did you understand the question? At work, we have to be passionate. We cannot be in the mode of Hare Krishna Mataji. Hare Krishna Mataji, can you please deliver this? Did Arjuna fight like this? How did Arjuna fight? Did he say, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna? Did Arjuna fight like this? No. He was fighting on behalf of Krishna. Tasmat sarvesu kalesu mad anusmaratanna. Mad anusmara. Think about me and offer it to me. So, if you have to fight as a warrior, Arjuna didn't fight in the mode of ignorance or passion or goodness. He had to do what he had to do. Similarly, at work, if we have to do something, we have to do it. नहीं तो काम नहीं चलेगा. But we offer the fruits to Krishna. We don't be harsh. We show the right etiquette because Krishna is living every day. But we do the right thing at the right time.
Like you said, anger. If kids are not listening, I need to show them anger. I need to slap them. Am I actually doing that?
Especially husbands if they don't listen. No. What is the intention behind an action is important. What is the intention behind an action is important. When Arjuna was fighting, didn't he have anger? But what was the qualification of Arjuna? He was being told by Krishna to do it. I'll give you one example. If you can understand this example. You know, all of you know Putana, right? Putana smeared poison on her breast and she came to kill Krishna. So the intention of Putana was wrong, but her actions were right. She wanted to feed Krishna. Putana wanted to kill Krishna, so her intention was wrong, but her actions was right. Because she was feeling like a mother. And Krishna gave Putana the topmost position in the spiritual world. In hindsight, Bhishma Pitama, his actions were wrong. He took vows which were not favorable, but his intentions were right. Bhishma's intentions were always right. I want to be with Pandavas, I want to protect the Pandavas, I want to be with Dharma. But his actions were wrong. He was always with Kauravas because of his own vows which he took without consulting anybody. Correct? What did Krishna do? He went to see Bhishma Pitama when he was in the death of arrows. So what is the intention? When we are scolding our kids, when we are correcting them, it is for their benefit. That is fine. Because Krishna has given us a responsibility. But the highest responsibility is we should see how they can come out of the cycle of Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadi. That is the highest responsibility. We should never forget this. My dependents are dependent on me. So don't be a mother, become a spiritual mother. Don't be a father, become a spiritual father. Don't be a husband, become a spiritual husband. Don't be a friend, become a spiritual friend. Then it is perfect. Okay. So we have to move from ritual to spiritual. अभी हम जो करते हैं वो रिचुअल्स करते हैं. दादा ने बोला करना है, दादी ने बोला करना है, पापा ने बोला करना है. So we are doing things because of ritual, not for spiritual. So we have to add spirit into it. No, it's 15 minutes over time and my wife is looking at me. I better stop. Hare Krishna.